What's up, everybody? James Duggan here with Vincent Janito.
What's up, guys?
And we are going to be talking about The Division. Vince, you've been playing this game. You are reviewing this game.
I sure am.
You're level 20, admirable. I'll allow it.
You'll allow it.
So you want to talk about specifically the Dark Zone today because you got in there kind of for the first time and messed around.
Yep, that's right. And I'm up to rank 10, which is not like super huge in the Dark Zone. There's plenty still to go.
You only have 40 left.
Oh, that's right. And I just want to say, like, the Dark Zone right now is absolutely, hands down, the most fun I've had with this game. So it feels to me like this is where the game actually does feel like an MMO or like a massive online game of some kind. Whoa, those guys are no joke.
Or a shared world shooter, whatever you.
Shared world shooter, whatever you want to call it.
A lot of people get really antsy about that distinction, but I think it's fine. It's massive, it's multiplayer, and it's online.
Sure. What do you think? Do I pick this fight?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I picked this fight.
You're level 20? Yeah,
I
they're only level 21.
I should be okay.
Yeah, my whole thing with investing in this game kind of, with my time and money, was my experience with the Dark Zone in the closed and open beta. Specifically the closed beta. But, oh man, these guys are kicking your ass.
Yeah, they're hitting hard.
You were saying? Little sidebar here. I was playing on the console, and as we all know, it's harder to aim even for the best of us on the console.
Sure.
And so I'm wondering if the game is just straight up easier on PC, because I just, not to toot my own horn, but I do nothing but headshots on the PC, and that's not even because I'm that good. I'm not. It's just very easy with the mouse and.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, like headshots aren't like impossible to pull off, but like definitely. Actually, it's funny. I never really thought about that. There are a lot of shooters that when they're on the PC and they're on cross platform, sometimes they just are naturally harder on the console.
What if they balance for that? But anyway.
Yeah, that's a good question.
All right, so the Dark Zone, for those of you who don't know, this is the central red area on the map, and basically this is the PvP, weighted PvP, kind of DayZ-esque, Rust-esque. If you die, you lose everything you picked up in the Dark Zone, as well as this, sometimes substantial amount of experience, as well as Dark Zone funds, but that depends on if you're rogue or not. If you kill another player in the Dark Zone unwarranted, then you'll be marked as a rogue, and you can be killed without any kind of penalty by other players. So yeah, other players do not receive some kind of penalty. In fact, they receive, like if you were rogue and that guy killed you, he would actually receive a bunch of Dark Zone funds for killing you.
But I want to point something out right there that just happened and that's happening right now. What we're doing, me and this guy, this cannot actually happen outside of the Dark Zone, like where I'm just like having a firefight and then randomly like, hey, some other guy walks by and sees me having this firefight and he decides to like, help out. That can literally not happen in core division in the core of the division, and that's kind of one of my big problems with the game right now. What's that? No way. Oh, yeah, I need rank 30. I'm not even close to being there. But yeah, that's something that like the game is lacking sorely, and that's one of the things I love about Destiny is that when you walk around the world, you run into other players, and you can have these kind of impromptu, cooperative situations where like I'm in a pitched firefight and then someone else just comes and overflanks from the other side and they help me out. Let me show you something else that I think is kind of a weird oversight in terms of the RPG elements in this game. So most games. You can't switch skills that are on cooldown. So like Diablo does this, but here when I'm out in the world, there's no reason for me not to do this every time if I lose health. Takes a couple seconds, and great, my heal's up. Bam, pop my heal, and it's on cooldown, but who cares? I'm just gonna switch back to the ability.
You know what's hilarious about that is a huge oversight. I didn't even know you could do that.
I'm surprised, actually. This will be ladies and gentlemen. This will be be the first time I found something kind of that's like mildly exploity before James Duggan figured out a way to
post a video about it and get a bunch of hate.
Which you've already done once with this game, right?
Yes. Oh, I've done multiple times.
Hey!
So yeah, I did.
Hey,
wow, that's...
Macarena.
So the RPG elements in this are much more fleshed out than I thought they would be. So I'm surprised something like that exists. But hey, now that I know it's a thing, totally going to take advantage of that.
So didn't stop me from dying horribly there. So here's what's interesting now in the Dark Zone is, so I didn't have any gear that I'd picked up here in... I hadn't picked up any gear here in the Dark Zone yet, but if I had, then all that gear that I picked up in the Dark Zone and hadn't had extracted yet would have gone away would have dropped right there on the. Yes, I'm aware. Why does it do this with the tutorials? It's like I've spent time here already, guys. I know this.
I'm only level 20 and Dark Zone rank 10. Hey, kill that guy! Kill that guy! Kill that guy!
He's level 24. I can't.
No,
kill him.
no. He's rogue. You have to kill him. That's the rules.
Oh,
of the
that's
Dark
right.
Zone.
Oh, shoot. That's right. Oh, crap. This is not.
Well, welcome to the Dark Zone, ladies and gents.
Oh boy.
Well, yeah.
Nope.
So that just happened. Man, poor time for that to happen during
Yeah.
a review commentary.
That's okay. It's totally fine. Matty
servers,
Bobanga.
servers happen.
Yo, Matty Bobanga just
No,
took me to school.
I'm talking about the way in which that happened with the lag and the turnaround and that.
Yeah,
That's
yeah. And also, like, that's a tough situation because that guy was a few levels above me. I mean, I had the drop on him, so if I had it's funny because I'm still not used to that concept that it's like if I see red, it's not that I can attack him. It's
should.
that I need to
Yeah.
because if I don't, he's just going to kill me.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
and opening with grenade in that scenario would have been
Would have been
beneficial.
would have been optimal. Absolutely.
But so there's a thing that happens in this game. It continues to happen even after launch. Not a lot of people are talking about it, but for the most part, when you use a skill, it works. Sometimes, inexplicably, it just doesn't.
I have run into that, and it's really
and
frustrating.
it's awful. Especially for me, it seems to occur the most, or at least it did during the beta in the Dark Zone.
Oh god.
So obviously, that's the worst time for that to happen, just because I need this to work. I need this grenade to go off. I need
Right.
this sticky grenade to work.
It's
I need
not
this heal to. Oh, there he goes.
No, there's Matty Bobanga still.
Now you're getting gagged. So here's why I don't go into the Dark Zone until 30. Number one, not a level playing field in terms of your conventional levels. But then number two, there's really no incentive for me to go into the Dark Zone. Besides, I mean, you kind of have to check it out because you're trying to get this review done in a timely fashion. But for anybody who's playing this game just for the sake of playing it, which 99.9% of us are, there are no incentives to go into the Dark Zone except for maybe getting some gear, but I would argue it's easier to get that from just the gear will provide you games. There's no reason you need to try and get a level 20 high-end weapon. Just wait until you're 30 and then go into the Dark Zone, and that's where the progression, I think, happens because you are not accruing any character experience here, correct?
Right, you don't accrue any character experience, which I think is a big mistake on their part. Because it's like if I want to engage solely with the Dark Zone, which by the way, right now, my main criticism of the game is that the world feels static, dead, because it's all instanced to you. There are no ways for you to have these kind of MMO like cooperative experiences, or to even have these PvP type experiences in the core game. And so the world, and even in terms of roaming mobs, I don't really ever feel I feel like as long as I'm walking around an area that says that the level requirement is generally in line with what I am, I don't feel like there's any reason for me to ever feel threatened. But in the Dark Zone, I could just randomly run into a group of tough dudes and suddenly be in a fight for my life.
Yeah. There's
What is this?
a random turret.
That's a random turret. That's a random
The
turret.
machines are rising up. So let me ask you this, Vince. Have you been, and the game doesn't really provide a clear incentive for this, so if you haven't, it's obviously not a knock on you, but have you been using the matchmaking system to match up for missions, or are you just doing them solo?
No, I'm using it constantly for missions. In fact, one of my problems is that's been the only thing that I do actually. When I want to do story stuff, that's just all I do. I don't want to waste 10 minutes running around trying to get to where I want to go. I actually just want to. Oh boy, I'm getting flanked. I actually just want to get right there and get into a group and do it with other people. Cool, that guy is suppressed. Oh, but he's got buddies coming. Yeah, this is a lot harder right now than it was before. By the way, I know I'm getting decimated right now, but honestly, when I first came into the Dark Zone, I was doing well. I first tried it at 12, and I was running around for a good couple of hours.
So yeah,
and
you've gone. That bracket goes to 14, I believe, and then I believe there's a 14 to maybe 18 or 20 bracket. So you're basically the low end of a bracket right now.
Yeah.
Which isn't great because it's almost a World of Warcraft scenario where you don't go into a battleground at level 11. You wait until 19. You do the 9s because that's how they divide up the levels in that. And I don't know how I feel about that, but again, this whole zone is really just superfluous until the end of the game, which, to your point, yeah, that kind of sucks, because this is the best part of this game. I think far and away the best part of this game.
Yeah, no, because this is where all the action really actually happens. I'm just gonna, I'm gonna be dumb, and I'm gonna throw out a turret and just pop my ult and run, and hope it keeps me alive.
Oh, I'm sure it will.
So yeah, right now, like I feel like this is the game. Like when you in terms of there's a rogue out there, isn't there?
It's that same
Yeah,
guy.
That's the same guy. He's actually. It looks like he's just camping the that entrance to the zone. It looks like he's just waiting for people to.
Surprisingly, that's the first time I saw somebody do that. That was one of the first thoughts I had when I got in the Dark Zone.
I thought that would be more prevalent, but
Yeah.
it actually hasn't.
Well,
been.
so if this was a level 30 Dark Zone, or if this was like a beta Dark Zone, there would be a lot more people than just you. And when you see that rogue icon, everybody just goes running towards it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like right now, it's not great for you because you're the only one, and he has more gear than you. But in the way that this zone is supposed to work, there would be lots of people kind of rushing towards him, and he wouldn't be able to just sit still and accrue that Dark Zone funds.
Yeah. So yeah, just in short, like to wrap this up, I'm disappointed kind of in the fact that like I feel that when you look at all the demos that we saw of the Division leading up to its release, like before, in pre-release and stuff, before we ever, yeah, this is much tougher than it was before. Everything we saw, all that stuff about like being in a group and then going through the middle of Manhattan and like, hey, we randomly ran into a group of dudes, and then like, are those dudes gonna betray us? Are they gonna work with us? Oh boy, I almost shot that person. That would have met. Are they gonna betray us? Are they gonna work with us? Well, that was nice. And then will they work with us for a little bit, and then will they? Aw, thanks, dude. You're nice. Oh, this is the same guy that shot me before. He's like, oh, we're not enemies anymore.
That's the weirdest part about the Dark Zone is it's such like everybody's a Two-Face. I don't know.
But yeah, just all those cool things and emergent things about the game that we were sold actually are not in the game proper. It's only in the Dark Zone.
Right.
Like that literally can only happen in the Dark Zone. And my personal opinion is that could not have been the original intent. I think the original intent was that the whole game was supposed to be the Dark Zone.
Right. That's kind of the tinfoil hat theory that you have.
Yes.
Going on. I think you may be right, but I think that like the fact that you don't get to the Dark Zone until the end of the game, and this is something that so many MMOs do, and it's like, why? There have been like 20 entries, no, 30, 40, 50 entries to the genre, and the vast majority of them hold the game's best experiences for the time you conventionally beat the game in terms of levels. So
sure, but
I don't know.
But
That's
where we disagree there is that like I don't personally think that that's necessarily like yes, the best MMOs, a lot of MMOs hold off the best stuff for last because that's when they can throw the most at you. But like to me, oh god.
Well, yeah. So
to me, the problem here is that like it's not gated until the end. This is something you can literally do effectively and have fun at.
Why would you ever do it? Like, so you're the even if you were doing very successfully right here, the Dark Zone experience you would be accruing towards your level is a sliver of what you would get at 30 in terms of both funds and experience. So like in terms of the reward structure, besides just coming in here to mess around, which that guy is clearly doing, and you're doing for the sake of your review, like there's really no incentive to come in here and 30.
The reason I disagree is because I think the gear is way better in the Dark Zone. Both
Sure,
the stuff that
but
drops
like
and the stuff that
who
you can buy off
cares?
the vendor.
If you just spend the time leveling up, you're going to get much better gear than that in like 2 or 3 levels. You see my point?
I don't know. Like I feel like when I came out of the Dark Zone, when I went into the Dark Zone, the character I came out as in terms of the gear I had, I felt like I was ahead of the curve for the next for the next few levels.
I'll continue to debate you on that point, but yeah, your point here is that the outside of this, it doesn't really feel like an MMO, and in here it does,
and then in here it feels like a great MMO.
Right.
And that's kind of like that dichotomy of the two. It's a tale of two games. Kind of is kind of bugging me right now. But that's kind of all I have to say about the Dark Zone for now, though.
Excellent. All right. So for more on the review, you can keep it tuned to IGN. Vince, you are playing this game a ton, and you'll be keeping us up to date on all of your thoughts. How do you feel about your progress in the review so far? Just to wrap up.
Well, I think that obviously I want to get like to 30. I haven't. Having to mess around on a couple of different platforms and also having to write a bunch in between. I haven't gotten as high level as I would like just yet. I definitely want to get to 30 and then see what the game feels like at 30. And like when my game is primarily about the Dark Zone, then I want to see how my experience is. So
Sure.
We're still a bit off. I would say sometime next week is what we're looking at, but we don't have anything solid. It's just we want to make sure that we spend all the time we need to spend in order to deliver the right verdict.
Excellent. This is a very climactic conclusion in terms of the explosions on screen. For all things The Division, keep it right here on IGN.